What's up, everybody? Big Herc 916, and you tune into another edition of Fresh Out. And man, hit that subscribe button, that like button, that share button. Man, I'm here with my man Justin, who's got the clothing line Ticket. The game is dirty, and dude, a real one. And also in law enforcement, man, you know, a brother, man, who's got some real game and tells it like it is. And there's a lot of things going on with our culture. And people don't want to talk about the elephant in the room, but here you have myself who's been through every facet of the system, and I'm working to try to put out knowledge and not promote the negative and ignorant behavior. And we have somebody here in law enforcement, other brother, who's seen it from the other side. And Justin, man, I mean, you know, the game is dirty is your clothing brand. You also work the law enforcement, man. I mean, what do you see right now as far as the game of life itself and how the young black male is, you know, playing this game, man? Because it's obvious that, you know, nobody's really talking about it, man. And, you know, we don't hear anything about the black on black crime or our culture until it involves a white person.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, I mean, dude, 300 people in Chicago have been killed this year.
Mm-hmm.
You have, you know, Philadelphia, one of the most dangerous cities in the country, and predominantly black on black crime. I mean, we see all this stuff, and I'm not picking on blacks. I have very successful black people on my show that have never been locked up, that have never committed a crime, but nobody wants to watch those videos. They want to hear about the guy who's, you know, the guy who's the thug, the gangster, which is sad, man. The portrayal of our culture and our people. People think that's culture, man, and there's more to it than that, man. I mean, you know, what is your perspective on this whole dynamic of what we see right now going in the social media and what we see on, you know, on the mainstream?
Well, first of all, the whole social media thing, it's actually become a person's life. That social media has taken over almost that is their reality. And they didn't know that's not, if that platform didn't exist, you wouldn't have that even to go to. And that's a problem too. People need constant validation. That's what that's needed. You have to always show where they're going, what they're doing. And it's really, if you deep down in it, it's really just to try to portray your life better than what it really is. When you're using it, you're trying to get someone jealous, most of the time. And people want to admit to it, but they always say, look where I am, look what I'm doing. But then all the things that they post and look at, if you actually see what their lifestyle, they're not living that way. They budgeting, they flying Spirit Airlines. They're not doing, you know what I'm saying? They're not living that life.
Yeah.
So that's already a front. But now it's become so part of their validation. If they don't get validation through that, it affects them physically and mentally. They actually get disturbed by that. I'm like, man, you are so far detached. You're dependent on this device that is controlling your life, and that's really bad. And it's like, and then as far as like you're saying about the male black and this our situation. It's they gotta understand they're a tool. They're used to make money. They say they broke, but somehow we spend all of them. We buy everybody's products.
Yeah,
we keep everybody rich.
Biggest consumers.
We keep everybody rich, and then if you want to talk about making money, you can't keep their interest long enough. They rather make money for somebody else. That's like I said, like when we were talking about the brand earlier. If you have a brand, I have a brand. It doesn't matter how nice it is. They won't buy from you because they feel it's not. They won't validate their own selves.
Mm-hmm.
They have to go run to a brand where they don't even know how to pronounce the name and go miles to go get it. And the people don't want them in the store buying it when they're buying it. And it's overpriced. And then they buy it and walk out and think they're doing something. And some of them, they don't really have the money to be buying it, so they may have to wear that shirt 5 or 6 days in a row until everybody see them.
Oh.
You know, the ignorant stuff. And
right.
They buy a belt and
they
tuck a shirt that's not supposed to be tucked just to show that belt.
Yeah, I know.
I seen guys rock with MGM bags when they came out with paper in it. He has nothing in the bag. He just wants to wear it for the fashion part. You know, the paper that originally come in it, just walk around with paper in it. There's nothing in the bag. I'm like, this is insane. And for the people and when your mindset is that gone, you're not ready for life.
Damn.
You're not ready for life. And unfortunately, because the black family situation, most of them raised by females. And you can do it, but you're still a woman. You can't teach a man to be a man.
That's right.
So basically, it's almost like some lionesses. You got auntie, grandma,
Yeah.
It's all females.
Yeah.
And here you got men, you 6'7" and ripped in body. You can't be a man with raised with all that female temperament. That's why when someone step on your shoes and get it dirty, you flip off like a girl, and you done shot and killed somebody because you got a female temperament in a man's body. So it doesn't matter if you can bench 600 pounds. And inside, you still a bitch.
Yeah. No, that's real talk.
Serious. And them the ones who'll say, you punk. I say, no, nigga, you.
Yeah. You
are the band.
Yeah.
You get mad over anything. You can't talk anything out. Everything has to be processed through violence because you female inside.
That's right.
You're just a big, strong female man. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you tell people they don't want to hear that. I'm like, well, that is the problem. That's why we always have these little quick acts of violence and stuff that go on. And then, and even things like, even the term black on black crime, I don't really like that because most people commit crimes against themselves. You don't hear people say white on white crime.
You're right.
Most people kill within their own culture.
You're right.
Except they don't put it on the news.
You're right.
That's what it is. I mean, 90% they kill within their own, but they don't get put on it. And I'm telling black people, it's like, that generally this country don't really care for us. So why would you do stuff to help bring your own demise? I can't get that across to people. Like this brand ticket is for everybody, but of course, some people have it worse than others, but it's for everybody. But every time people talk about the game being dirty, they always revert back to black people. That's because subconsciously they know that we kind of got it bad. Because this brand is for everybody. Yeah. Because everybody lives life. Yeah. Everybody gets married. Everybody has a job. Everybody got divorced. We all go through the same walks of life. But some reason people just always think it's about a blackness, and it really isn't. But the fact that you even think that lets you know that there is a problem. And it's just like, and I don't know I'm trying to wake people up, like I said, but not be preachy.
So, I mean, I get the same thing about being preachy and picking on you always picking on black people, but I don't pick on anything. I'm just speaking on what I see from my perspective. And I have plenty of people who are successful and I give praise to those individuals, but I look at accountability. It is what it is. And I'm like, at what point are we gonna not say, well, we suffer this, because most of you guys have never suffered anything. You never suffered anything. You've never been arrested. You don't have no felonies. You want to be arrested, like you want to be in trouble for what though?
Yeah,
why?
Right.
Why? I used to ask myself when I was in juvenile hall, and why? I'm like, damn, dude, what am I doing? But I couldn't put a finger on it, and I didn't really have an answer for myself. But it's like you said, everything. It wasn't like, if people were talking about, oh man, tripping off this white. No, it's always like, we were our own worst enemy. Kevin Gates said, it's like, niggas is telling each other.
I like Kevin Gates.
He's like, dude, ain't nobody telling on niggas. You guys do it, and as soon as you get in there, you tell on each other, you rob each other.
Snitch,
I mean, you so happy, somebody gets, you start something that don't work out, and niggas is happy. Yeah, that nigga failed. You guys are the ones who were cheering for demise,
And that's their heart inside too. That's what they feel inside. I might not necessarily say it, but that's it. And see, that's been taught to us so many years, and I've been trying to give us a pass, because if you don't know, you don't know no better. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you can't ride that forever. That has to stop.
Yeah.
Like me and my mom getting arguments over that. She says, son, why? I say, Mom, look, I understand what you're saying, but if you don't care about yourself, who else is gonna care?
That's right.
That has to stop. And I said, and before we even run into government or police, shit is already fucked up from the house.
You got the
average decisions that's made in a brother's life has nothing to do with the outside initially. Like if you got some bad habits, if you doing drugs or just doing shit you shouldn't be doing, that you personally make a decision to do, that has nothing to do with the outside source. You're doing that and you don't need to be doing. It's like, I wonder what I can use to just say somebody brought some drugs, somebody start using it. Okay, well, that's something you don't have to do. You adding a problem, but there's no one forced that upon you. You're bringing things to your life.
But CIA flew crack in here. So.
I know. They brought them. I know they did. I know. They brought that train to Compton, didn't they?
Yeah.
And opened that stuff and left all that kind of stuff. They set the kindling for it.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to say is, if you know it's like that against you, you still have that choice.
That's right.
And that's how I keep trying to tell people. They're gonna always bring some stuff to you.
Yeah.
Because whatever they've been exposed to, I said, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not, because I know this is not.
You got to have willpower to say no.
That's what I'm telling you. And no one's teaching willpower. They're teaching excuse. They're teaching, you got this condition, you got this. No, you got lack of ass whooping and structure.
That's right. Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's like, it's always, no, baby, it's all right. No. And parents are trying to be their kids' friends. I was raised. These other people here are just growing up. There's a difference. They just grow up. They don't get raised. So what they do, Here's your PlayStation. Here's your new shoes. Here,
Xbox.
they buy this, buying them everything, even if they don't deserve it.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just give that to no child and then let the TV and the Instagram grow them up. They're not ready for the world. And then as soon as they get to an anniversary, what they do? Shoot themselves or do something stupid. A lot of these people committing crimes, you know they got a place to stay. They're not doing it out of necessity.
Yeah.
They're doing it because, and you're filming yourself. So how are you doing something if you really need this? This is an issue, but you got time to get a crew and film yourself doing it. That's just ignorant. And then they wonder, well, where does it come from? That's not, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I just wasn't raised in that era. And my kids not like that. Like no, my kids are in that genre as far as age, but I didn't raise them like that. I said, we're not going to have it.
Well, you took a more responsible position as a parent, because most parents don't want to, they really don't want to, raise their kids. They say, oh, my kid, he's 18, he made it, and I can get out the house. Like, dude, but what'd you give him? What life skills did you give your kid to prepare him for circumstances that he's going to face in the future? I mean, okay, you gave him clothes, food, and shelter, but did you actually teach him anything about, how to deal with adversity and challenging situations? Did you teach him anything about how to have a positive relationship with a woman, so he's not abusive, or he knows how to communicate and he doesn't get mad and hit somebody, how to deal with violence? Did you teach him how to be a boss, how to, control a situation financially and become self-sufficient rather than be, underneath somebody else's thumb where he doesn't have any control of his life? There's a lot of little things in there that you need to teach a child outside of just raising them to the point where they can put their pants on and drive a car and, get a regular, get a job at McDonald's. You got to teach them other values to give them a sense of self. It's a confidence builder, man. And that confidence, when your kid has confidence and he has a sense of self, his choices will be different, because when somebody says, hey, man, let's go rob this nigga, man, he got 10 P's. Or let's go, this dude, they got some Rolexes, let's go do the smash and grab. You'll be like, nah, man, I'm cool. You know what, I got some other things I got going on. You will have a higher level of consciousness as far as your decision making. But if your mind isn't geared towards that, you will easily fall prey to something because you've already been given into lower choices. And it's just build up. You don't wake up one day and say, I'm gonna rob a bank. You've been doing a lot of lower choices that make it easier for that choice to filter in. Because if you have a filter, that choice wouldn't even, boop, it's out. It's out. It wouldn't even make it through the filter because you've already, you know how to not entertain stuff like that. Like, you see, that's man, look, man, don't ever come to my house again. Don't come over here talking that shit, man. Robbing somebody. Get the hell out of here. But you're like, well, rob? Who? What's the guy? Okay, what is it? So if you're already kind of like on the ladder, but you've been doing some other stuff, it's like, dude, your ability to decide things is not very clear. But yeah, Ben, and I used to just do a lot of reflecting about that and think like, damn, how did I end up here? And a lot of people don't want to do that because it's a painful process, and they don't want to take the responsibility. At the end of the day, man, I couldn't blame lack of not having the father or lack of this. I had to say, you know what, man, I had some good values. I made bad choices. A lot of people don't want to say that, man. You just made some bad choices, man. It wasn't the white man from 1867 that put my whoever great granddaddy and now the white man taught me how to do a bank robbery. Right. I can't blame him. Because I wasn't doing in kindergarten. I wouldn't bring a little water pistol to school and robbing people with a water pistol. Right. So I picked. You know what I mean? I just got around. I didn't say, hey, that's a bad choice. So I think that's one of the biggest things is being able to have some accountability, and once you do that, it puts you in a different category with what you do in life as far as responsibilities, and you look at things differently, man. And that's what I'm saying. Accountability has been taught out on purpose. I think accountability is out the window. Gradually faded out, huh? Well, they did it. Yeah, I know. It took a while. It took a couple of years to make the person of today. Yeah. Because like they make school. There's really no first or second place. It's just participation. That doesn't strive you to want to do better. Yeah. And then every time there's something wrong, they say, oh, you have this disorder. You need this medication. No. It's always an excuse instead of, no, you decided to do that. That's what you did. And it's the result of, it's always an excuse, or you have this, or take this med. And most of it, that's why they come up with something every week. Now we got this new condition. That's just people who were not told what to do. They were just raised and they let them do what they want to do. And every time they did something wrong, it was always somebody else's fault and not theirs. But once you leave your home,
you know, your parent or mom, no one cares. You gonna be held. They don't see you as, oh, that's my baby. They see you as a grown man.
That's right.
Who done some shit wrong, who don't like you in the first place, and they don't get it. And I'm like, this has to stop. And if you don't stop, I tell you, I'm kind of brutal. I tell people, I say, look, man, the way you're going now, I know I can only tell you what I'm going to tell you. If you don't want to listen, that's fine, but you probably won't make it to my age. You need. Not them are just doing too much. The world provides things for you, and you can't participate in everything. It's too much. You know, nobody's perfect. We all dibble and dabble and stuff.
Yeah,
but these new kids, if it's 50 things to do wrong, they're doing all 50 of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
How you gonna make it?
Trying everything.
You gonna have to run. The odds of you making it is right. You can't dabble in everything. You can't. And that's what these people, they seem like they have no limit. It's like they just what's that little thing on Price is Right? The little man, they go up the hill and just fall off. They don't stop. They just keep going like, dude, come down, you're doing too much. And they just fall. And that's it. And I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Oh,
and
man, you're right.
You can't tell them, man. So I'm really, I'm you know, my passion for this, I have to tone it down because I don't want to give myself no high blood pressure, nothing. But I really try to. It's hard to help people that don't want to help themselves.
Yeah.
And when you say that, you run the risk of, you know, like you said, I was like, man, don't nobody. I care a lot.
Yeah.
I care. I don't have to. I'm that person where if you come back and your arm is ripped off and you say there's a bear over there ripping people's arms off, I don't fucking need to go over there. These new motherfuckers have to go.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. Where's he at?
Yeah. I'm like, but the purpose of me having scars and shit is so you don't have to go through it. What's the point of me going through it if I'm trying to tell you, look, this happened because of this. This happened because of this. I lost a tooth here. I did time here. I did this. Now I'm telling you, you can see what happened to me, so you don't have to do it, but they still have to go do it. And I'm like, that's crazy. You can't go beyond that. See, I'm the type of person I can see, and like, I don't have to go through it. That's the whole point of experience.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see this happen to you, because the world ain't gonna. These people think the world gonna change for them. There's certain parameters in the world that's built you ain't gonna get around, and they think they can just come into life and change the game of life. I'm like, nah, there's certain parameters set in stone, and there's no game or no way that you're gonna get around it. And if you try to circumvent that, you're gonna be in a hospital, dead, or locked up.
Man,
there's no way around it. And I mean, I do my best for my brand to try to tell people. That's all I can do because I don't have no, you know, I don't own control media. I don't do all that. But what's good in my heart though is that my brand's been out like 11 years, and the people who do buy it consistently, they understand it and they talk about it. So I'm just happy that it's helped a lot of people. You know, I wish it can help throughout everything, but I know that anything that's real doesn't sell. If I was selling ignorance, you know, if I was, you know what I'm saying, anything nudity or a weed thing, anything that's ignorant that don't really bring value, sells fast. It doesn't take long. Ignorant sales and celebrities.
Yeah.
And you know, and me, I don't need either one of it. It's like, you know, I just, because I didn't do it for the necessity of the money of it. I did it because it came from my heart. Because if I knew about what it entailed, I wouldn't have did it. Because by the time I was into it deep, I realized how competitive it is, and how much work it takes, and like everybody has a brand. It's not easy. Yeah. Especially in California. To get somebody to buy from you in California, the materialistic this place is.
Oh, man. Yeah.
When I even got by sale, I know I got something real because it's hard to get, and I know I get sales overseas and different things like that. But my thing, they don't know, I'm really trying to help you. It ain't about that. I'm trying to get that mindset, enough people to talk about it, to wake up. Like, it's okay to enjoy life. It's okay to do things, but know that you are in a war. You can't act like nothing's, you know, you can't. Disneyland is a place you visit. It's not a lifestyle. These people walk around, I call them apple pie, or I call them Disneyland people. These are people who just believe the system and think everything's okay and just go with the flow. Wherever the world says, they go with it. They have nothing to stand on. They just go wherever it goes. You ever seen people wear some clothes they shouldn't be wearing?
Yeah.
Just because it's out?
Yeah.
I seen a girl, she shaped like a carrot on top of a turnip. Yeah. And then she tried to wear some type of leggings outfit. So you know how silly you look? Yeah. Now you're only buying that because this is supposed to be some outfit. They don't look good right on you.
Well, even the guy you said with the backpack on, with the paper bags and with the bag inside,
just trying to, because he thinks that makes him somebody.
The backpack, he wears it, and it's raining outside. He got the backpack on. Oh yeah, it's raining. Backpack on. Turn around.
And unfortunately, man, we do that the most. But that comes from people just being broke. The brokest person, they try to, you know, that they do that to do self-esteem. I understand it, but at the same time, it has to stop at some point. Because if you don't stop it, life is gonna stop. It's gonna get so bad where it's gonna correct itself. And once life have to correct you,
Oh man,
You done.
That thing, I see it.
When life has to correct you, man, I tell people evaluate yourself. Like,
yeah.
I mean, telling people to get mad. I say, why you getting mad? You are. If I'm telling the truth, it's hurting you, it's bothering you. If I'm not, just roll off. That's how I tell people when they get all mad and stuff. I say, I know if I'm telling the truth because you take that long drive home. What I'm saying, if it's true, it's gonna be like, oh, I hate what he told me. You know what? Because that's that truth irritating you. It ain't me. It's the truth that's irritating you. And if you don't change yourself, while you got your health and your thing, because something happened to you for you just smashing the gas to death, is speeding, doing everything wrong. Once life corrects you, you don't have no control over that. And you're not gonna like what life does, but it will catch up to you. I mean, life is hard living right. So how much harder is if you just being ignorant, constant on, you set on ignorant.
Yeah.
And so that's all. And I'm just trying to teach ignorance out of people and just like, look, man, live life and enjoy life, but know that you are in a game and the game is dirty. But you have to almost try to be flawless victory if you can, like Mortal Kombat. You got to just calculate. You just can't make moves out here because everything's a trap. What seems to be nice and cool is really a trap.
Yeah, it's no different than you getting that DM from that broad and you think she indie, but she's actually setting you up for a robbery.
Setting you up for robbery.
Setting up for robbery because you had a picture about a month ago where you had a Rolex on or Patek, and she seen that watch and her cousin was like, hey, do you know this nigga right here? Mm-hmm. Shoot him a DM and see if he respond. You know what I mean? And catch your ass.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time, man, you gotta think 10 steps ahead, man. It's gotta be calculating because like it's not as simplistic as it used to be. The game there's a lot of other twists and turns in it, man. So, hey man, Big Herc 916 and my man Justin, man, the game is dirty. Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshoutseries.com.